Hey everybody. I wanted to make this video and talk about a couple things that I've been thinking about. On my way to work today, I was listening to Wim Hof, who you probably know by now is like a real inspiration to me, a real hero to me, and I get really emotional when I hear him talk. Mike got me his book for my birthday, and I opened it, I read like the first page, and I just started tearing up, and I read almost the whole book like with tears in my eyes. And I wasn't exactly sure what was eliciting that kind of response in me. Obviously I was really connecting with something that he with his message. But on the way to work today, I was listening to him, and he was talking about Patanjali, who and the Yoga Sutras, which is like 1200 years ago, a book that a lot of the yoga philosophy is based on, and just the mechanics and the way that you do it, the whole science of yoga. And the very first sutra in the book, or I guess the second one, describes yoga and what it even is as being the silencing of the modifications of the mind so that the seer reveals itself. And I'm listening to him say this, which obviously I'm familiar with the sutra and I've read about it, but something about his delivery, it just clicks with me that is the thing that is causing me to tear up, almost even now talking about it. And I think that that's because for everybody, I'm sure, but for me, my own personal experience is that I have a pretty intense lifelong anxiety disorder, and I have OCD, which is, if you're not familiar, it causes, well, if you're not familiar with all the different things, the manifestations of OCD and what it can look like, I don't have the washing hands thing or things like that, but what it does is it causes me to have uncontrollable thoughts, racing thoughts, uncontrollable doubts about what I have done. Did I turn the stove off? Did I get TJ out of the car seat? And never being able to count on my own thoughts, and having these thoughts that I just can't control. Sometimes I might get in a loop of obsessive thinking and just know that this is insane. What I'm doing is insane. I've been Googling symptoms of a headache for 5 hours straight. I'm not doing my work. I'm ignoring TJ, but I can't make myself stop. And, I've had some version of this my entire life, and I always just thought I was so fucked up, that I'm just deeply fucked up. If people knew the kind of things that are going on up here and the kind of things that I'm doing, they just wouldn't trust me with anything, and they would think I'm nuts, and I am nuts. And, so the thing about that sutra and that message and the whole thing about yoga being the removal of the modifications of the brain so that the seer reveals itself. And this ties into a lot of different philosophies and Buddhist philosophy. And, there's a lot of philosophical discussion about it, but basically we're not our thoughts. There is a natural state that we exist in where our brains are not racing, we're not having all these doubts, we're not having all these thoughts, and that is our true self. And I think that we can see that in children, and we know that. We know that in children, they have something that then you lose as you age and you're put out into the world, and the fuckiness of everything, it dulls it or kills it or drains it. And we seem to all of us know that on some level that kids have something, but I kind of think that is what it is. Children exist in the most natural state before the environment and the lives that we have created sort of bear down on us with everything. That's the way that we are. And the way that we are is free from all of the bullshit. The way that we are is calm, cool, ready to handle stress, able to handle stressors. And so removing all of the bullshit and silencing all of that bullshit allows the seer to appear and be visible, because you're the seer. So it allows your true self and your true nature to come out. And that is a really, really deep and motivating and inspiring message for me to hear, because it's easy when you have a lot of anxiety to just get caught up in the idea that like, this is me. These obsessive thoughts, like, that is me. And that's what I'm like. Sorry. So I just wanted to share that with everybody, because I think a lot more people than you realize suffer with anxiety, like day-to-day anxiety, and maybe not OCD or maybe not that extreme, but I think we're all having a lot of doubts about ourselves, and we all have a lot of anxiety because of the way that we live in a lot of ways, and the way that we've shaped our environment, which of course is part of being human, and it's what makes us fucking amazing, that we've done all this incredible shit and like turned literal jungle wilderness into skyscrapers and cell phone towers, and like given me the ability to make this video and people across the world could see it in theory. So I mean, it's amazing, but obviously there are consequences to living basically in a giant science experiment where we do things in a completely unnatural to us way. There are consequences to that we have to deal with. And I think that yoga gives us a way to deal with that, to get back to our true natures and our true selves and sort of quiet all the bullshit down. And the point of quieting all the bullshit down is so that your real self can be revealed, the self that is healthy, happy, calm, able to deal with shit, because the thoughts, the anxiety, all of that is not your real self. It's not you. It's like a thing that your brain is recognizing and responding to. It's not you yourself. So that is what I think about that. I just wanted to share it with you, and that's it. So if you want to talk about it more, definitely hit me up, because I think that it's really interesting, and I'm pretty much lately always thinking about some version of this. And you know, in my 20s, we used to get shit-faced drunk, sit outside, and just talk about philosophy and politics and all kinds of stuff. And I think that it'd be nice to bring a little bit of that back. So if you ever feel like talking about crazy, weird shit or interesting stuff or any of these topics, definitely hit me up, because I'm down to do that. And check out the class on Sunday, because these are the kind of things that I want to like dive deeper into in the Sunday classes, and how we get back to this state of silencing all the bullshit, feeling like ourselves, revealing the seer, and then just like being able to take that out of the world and live in that kind of confidence that creates. So obviously I haven't like cured myself or anything. I'm not some Zen master, but I can say for sure that like the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm teaching have been incredibly beneficial to me, like life-changingly beneficial. Of course, when you have severe anxiety, tiny changes can be life-changingly beneficial. So once again, I'm not claiming that I've done something miraculous or anything, quite the opposite. I'm just saying that it's helped me, and thinking about it alone has helped me, and then the physical practices take it a step further, because it's a skill that we're like honing all the time. And so that's the main aim of what I'm doing. And that's it. So yoga, removing the modifications of the brain so that the seer reveals itself. It's good, right?